Hello, my name is Devin Green, and I'm with Jones Technical College in Jacksonville, Florida, and I'm here today to show you how to replace an input shaft. There's a few tools you're going to need. First, a socket wrench, a couple of screwdrivers, one small and one larger, a copper punch, and a snap ring remover, and a large hammer. I've already taken out the front plate, that was just held down with a few bolts like this. And now I'm going to prepare to take off the first before I take off the bearing, I need to take off the first snap ring. See? Like that. It's not that difficult. And then after that, I need to work on getting the bearing out by hitting it downward to put some pressure on the bearing while holding it down. I commence to knocking in the input shaft, and I pull it out. As you see, the bearing moved just slightly, so I do it again. And the bearing comes out a little bit more. Almost there. And it comes right off. There it is. That's the bearing. And that's the spacer. Now there's another snap ring holding it in, so I'm going to use this larger screwdriver and smaller screwdriver to pry it out. I'm going to use the smaller screwdriver to start it off, and once I got a piece of it out, I'll use the larger screwdriver to make sure it stays out and not slip back in. And then once I got it out, I'm just going to go around and continue prying it until it pops all the way out. There you go. See? There it is. And that's how you disassemble the input shaft. Now, to show you how to put it back in. You just do everything in reverse. Put the shaft back in. Now there was 2 snap rings, as I'm showing you right here. One is larger than the other. You want to put the larger one back in first. I'm going to use my small screwdriver. I'm going to lift up the shaft so it creates a gap on the top. Now I'm going to slide the part of the snap ring in. While it's not the most difficult thing in the world, it does take a bit of concentration and practice. So if you can't get it just right at first, don't get upset. And once I got it in, I'll let the input shaft go, and it should hold the snap ring in. But I want to keep my hand on the snap ring just in case it doesn't pop out. I got bad knees, so I can't stand them too long. So what I'm doing is I'm putting a small screwdriver in between the teeth and the snap ring, and I'm kind of prying it in as I'm going around. But you want to make sure you keep your hand on the snap ring so it doesn't pop all the way back out. Got it. And time for the spacer. Put that back. And there's the bearing. And you want to make sure that the lip part is facing outward. And that's when the copper punch comes in the hand. Because you don't want to hit the bearing directly with the hammer. You could break the bearing. So since copper is a much softer metal, I'm going to use that. But when you use it, you want to make sure you hit the inside of the bearing. Otherwise, you can break the whole thing. Not a good idea. So I'm enlisting a little bit of help from my classmate. Since it's not sitting in flush, I'm going to ask him to hold it up flush with the transmission. Yeah, this punch is a little small. I think I'm going to get a bigger one, so I don't hit my hand again with that hammer. That was not fun. Now with a bigger punch, I should get it in there a lot easier. And voila. Now just like taking it out, I'm going to have to repeat this process. Add a little protection in my hands. Got to protect the money maker. Almost there. Now where'd he come from? Now as you're punching it in, you want to make sure you go all the way around. You want it to be evenly flush before you pull it back out. Look at this guy. All in the way. Putting on the finishing touches. Looks good. Well, how do I know it's good? Because I want to knock it in, knock the bearing in far enough to where I can put the snap ring back on. Right there, it goes in that groove. You see it? Put it back on just the way I took it off. Now when you go to put the plate on, you want to make sure that that groove is even with that hole, because that's where the oil is going to run off. Last but not least, the bolts. After we tighten them up, I'll be all done. And that is how you do an input shaft replacement. Now, of course, it's a lot easier than the way it would normally do it. But that's an input shaft replacement for a manual transmission. Thanks for watching.